Good evening, InteleTravel agents, and welcome to a very special Monday night webinar. So we do have a full week packed of webinars for you, and starting out tonight. So my name is Geraldine Nolan, and I am your UK and Ireland office manager. And with me tonight is Trisha Hughes, who is your UK and Ireland managing director. And we have also joining us Dana Jordan, who is the Vice President of Operations. And Dana is actually in Florida. So many of you will probably have noticed the new register and book and payment screens that went live in your back office last week on Thursday. So what we wanted to do was actually give you a demo on how these screens and all the new great functionality works. And then, of course, take any questions that you may have if you've already been in having a play. So before we get started and we bring Dana on, of course, we always have to go over our housekeeping items. I know many of you probably know these off by heart, but we do need to do these for newer agents. And welcome to all new agents that have joined us tonight. So the first is that at any point, if you happen to lose connectivity, all you need to do is refresh your screen. We will be taking questions, as I mentioned, so there will be a little question box. So do type in your questions. You might want to wait a little bit because I'm sure some of them will be answered as Dana goes through her presentation. But by all means, do submit them and we will ask them at the end. And then, of course, this is being recorded. So if you need to go back and replay, the actual recording will be available under your InteleTutorial section, and that will be uploaded usually in about 48 to 72 hours. So I'm absolutely delighted to bring on Dana. Hi, Dana, are you there?
Hi, Geraldine. I sure am. And hi, InteleTravel UK team. So happy to be with you this evening to go over our exciting new register booking screen. So yes, as Geraldine mentioned, it did go live on us last week, late on Thursday. So I just wanted a quick run through with you today and an opportunity to answer any questions that you might have had so far if you have registered a booking since then. But certainly, you know, let's run through so that you have an idea what it looks like. So of course, under your Book Travel tab, if you have not seen it already, you will see the new register booking screen. So that's slightly different. It used to say register my booking or something like that. But this is the screen you will use now to register all your bookings. Now, just as a reminder, if you booked your trip using your InteleTravel booking engine, those still automatically get registered for you. So this is for your outside bookings that you want to have show up on your commission report. So let's just go through one so that you have an idea of what it looks like. So we click on the register booking screen, and quickly you will see it looks very similar to our booking engine, look and feel. We wanted to keep the same type of look because you're getting used to it when you are, getting your quotes, using your booking engine for bookings, and we just wanted to keep that same look. But as you see the differences here, this is the register booking screen, and of course we want to make sure you get all your credits. Now, a couple of things here to keep in mind. Right now, in this first phase, while we're kind of going through everything, you currently cannot register a booking over £100,000. So if you do have a booking that is larger than that, that's fabulous. We love those bookings. But for right now, you will need to contact customer service and have them help you with the registration of those bookings. Later on, as we're more into with this launch, we will more than likely lift this, but for right now it is on there. So I just want you to keep in mind, if you are trying to register something and it's over 100,000 pounds, it won't let you do it. So just please contact customer service. The UK team will be more than happy to help you with that. Now, what you can do, of course, when it's time to register your booking, you either have a brand new booking, a new trip that you are creating, or maybe it's an existing trip that was already in your My Trips in your back office, and for whatever reason you just didn't register it yet. So either way, you have a choice. Let's do a new booking, Dana's trip to Paris, let's call it. Okay, so we click our next button, and you will see it's going to take us to a new screen. Oh wait, I've got too much going on. So you see over here, success, the trip has been added, and then it's going to take us to the next screen. Oh, why did it not do that? Oh, I don't know what happened here. Oh, okay. Now I messed up, so hold on a second. Maybe that's me that didn't click the button. No, because now it's already existing now. Okay. Sorry, I'm having some issue here, but let me just make sure that's not an issue, that it didn't hold on to my new, I'm putting my note here. All right, so I've got a test trip. The type of booking that it is, with that trip number, of course, it's showing up at the top. So now you can see we're moving along, and we've got our booking here. The type of booking, let's pick an activity, because it's first on the list here. And you see when I click on the supplier, now it has choices that exist. So you can pick off of the list, or if it's not on the list, of course, you can add it to the list. But the list is quite extensive, But there is a chance that it's not on the list. Let me just put, I don't know, Arizona or something on here. See, supplier not found. So you can't find your supplier. If you still can't find it, then you can type it again, Arizona, and then it'll get added to the list by someone in the register booking screen department. So just don't think, if you don't see your supplier on the list, that you can't add it. You just need to manually add it so we can track. But for the purposes of this, let me just pick, do something different. Now, we're going to say you have your confirmation ID, and you are going to plug it in. Let's just pick some random numbers. Yay. And you now have the opportunity to add additional numbers, whatever is referenced on that confirmation page. So let's say do something different, gives you a confirmation ID, but let's say they also put a supplier reference on as a choice. So they give you a supplier reference number, you can plug that in. Let's say also on the do something different confirmation, they give a booking ID. You can even enter that. Whatever is on your confirmation, you can certainly do it. Now, I know what the first question is probably going to be out of the gate, and I will address it now. In the past, before we did this register booking screen, you had the opportunity to create a booking prior to actually making it on the supplier's web portal. Because, of course, we all know that those supplier web portals, once you click it and it's a confirmed booking, it's a live booking and you're on the hook for it. So I know the little trick lots of ITAs do is do the dummy booking, and you create a funny booking just to get the payment link, get the money from your customer, and then you actually go on the real portal and create the real booking, come back to this and adjust what the number is. Currently right now, We are in the process of fixing it, so don't think it's not going to get fixed. However, that whole pending status is not operable currently under this new booking platform. We have reported that issue. The IT team is working on it, so it will be more of a self-serve once it is fixed and sorted. In the meantime, you can create your dummy booking and still do what you were doing to get your payment link, but you will have to contact customer service for them to make the adjustments for you once you get the real confirmation from your supplier. So follow the same steps for right now as far as putting the dummy booking in here, okay, to get that payment link. I don't want you to think that you can't do that step right now. You just, once you get the real confirmation, like I'm saying, contact customer service with the information so that we can update it for you. But InteleTravel IT department is currently working on that so it can go back to self-serve. Okay, so let's continue on with the lesson. If it's a group, yes or no. If it is, you can have the opportunity to enter a group number, but that's all it's capturing. It's only capturing the group number. Phase 2, we'll be able to do a lot more with groups, and once we start growing groups, I know that in the UK, that's also going to be a lot of education for the rest of this year, is to move to the groups and understanding how to book more groups so that you get more money in your pocket. But just know for right now that this only captures a group number, but it doesn't really action anything else in terms of it being a group. It's only capturing that number. So let's just say it's not a group. Fine, we're going to next. And it's continuing on with the booking details. Now this should look familiar because it's just the same way as the old booking site. The day you booked it, you've got to, let's just pick today's date. Where are we going? Paris, why not? Oh my goodness. And let's say the date of the activity is not till July. And we've got 2 travelers. And then the full amount of that activity, we are always putting the full amount, not just a deposit amount. No, full amount of whatever the whole holiday, or in this case, an activity is. So let's just say it's £200. Of course, you have to upload your documents. I'm just going to pick this off of my computer just to say I've got something. If you have additional documents, you can do the plus sign and add more, but we don't, so we'll take it away, and we'll just go to the next. So now you're putting in all of your client information, just like the booking screen from before. So we can be Dana here, and I'll just put my number here. I'll keep it in the UK, so let's just pick something. But you would, for sake of time, I'm not filling all these fields out, but of course you would put your client's address and everything in here. All right. So now you get to the summary screen of the traveler details, and it tells you right here, we're not yet completed. So go over all the information with your customer, make sure everything is correct and showing. You're comparing your confirmation with everything on this screen. Now, for right now, you'd let customer service know what that is, or you've uploaded your documents so that they can also see it. And you see all the information in here. Once it all looks good, nothing is needed to change. You can hit confirm, but if you look on here and see that something is wrong, absolutely hit your back button and you can make any necessary changes. You can go as far back as need be to make those changes. All right, you can go all the way back to the very beginning screen. So don't think that you can't go back within this while you are, prior to hitting the button. So you make whatever changes if you need to. If you see something's wrong, you have the opportunity to fix prior to confirming and registering the booking. Now let's say everything looks good. We want to confirm and register. So we're going to click that button. Okay. I can't register it for real because I'm actually in Lynn. So you get the confirmation. You see that it is confirmed. what you want to do is then click, because you see right now there's no payment link there. You've got to click, go to the My Commissions page back on your home, and you'll be able to see your activity showing, okay? So in my other screen, it would have had a big, yay, it's confirmed, what do you want to do next? And it will not allow the payment link, though, right now to show on the register booking screen. Again, IT is looking and fixing that. So that's probably going to be my question number 2. We don't see the payment link once we register the bookings, Dana. Yes, you are correct. So once you register that booking and you want to make the payment, then you want to come back to your home screen, your dashboard, go to your My Commissions. You will see the booking now registered, and you're able to make a payment. So this looks kind of like the old way. When you click on your, when you click, I'm sorry, we've got a bad thunderstorm here right now, so I've got also some tech issues going on. When you click on your Make a Payment, this screen should look very familiar. You've got your payment link that you can copy to your client and paste into an email for them to receive. Of course, you always copy the full link. You know that the number here for the payment link is never going to match your actual booking reference for the booking, because the payment link isn't attached to the booking reference number. This payment link number is attached to the booking internally, so that we know when your customer actually makes the payment, it's going to hook up to this number. So please do not alter any of the information that's on this payment link. You always copy paste exactly as it shows and send it to the customer. If they don't want to do the payment link, then of course you have the opportunity to take payment on your client's behalf and fill out, if they've done your credit card authorization form, you've gotten their approval and their signature, you can then take that credit card information and plug it in right here and make a payment for your customer. Of course, history of payments will always show in this section. If it's deposit and then final payment, it will keep a running tally. Or if it's only one payment, one transaction, one time, it'll keep that running tally. Of course, we haven't made a payment yet, so there's nothing, no records found for this booking at this time. You only get information in payment history once a payment's actually been made. So that's also a good way to check a booking and to see if your customer has sent that payment, if you've done a payment link to them. You can find that in here. Now, question number 3, of course, that I think you're going to hit me with is something that we were just advised of. We do our payments through a payment gateway, of course, and then that attaches to MasterCard, Visa, Amex, Discover to then process the payments. But that payment gateway, Spreedly is the name of them, advised us that they are having a connection issue with the 3DS on these travel payment sales right now, and it is affecting some of the payments going through. Unfortunately, yes, they are aware that this is an issue. Yes, it has priority, but they were not able to give us an ETA on the fix. So if you do get an error currently, once you've gone through all that and you're putting your payments through, or if your client is putting the payment through and they get an error message, that is what it's about. So it's nothing out of our booking engine, but it's the gateway company that we use is having an interruption with the 3DS on their end. They are busily, is that the word? Busily fixing it, and we will give you updates as soon as that's rectified. So I know it could put a little bit of hamper on your sales. Of course, you're welcome to contact customer service to see if we can get the payment to go through. But with it being the 3DS, I'm sure that if we get the same error message, it's because it's a system-wide problem for that Spreely organization. So they are working as quickly as possible to get those payments, to get that 3DS rectified. And we certainly apologize for the inconvenience. Now, it's not widespread, everyone, so you will need to go through the process to see if it takes for you. But if you do get an error that's outside, some of the errors might be, card invalid or insufficient funds or something like that, then that's different. But if you just get a generic card error message, then that's what it's about, that 3DS. So please be patient while we wait for them to get the fix. And as soon as that's good to go, we will let you know. So I know off the top, those are probably the 3 most popular questions that I may have received on tonight's webinar, but there might be some other ones. Certainly, I can open it up for questions, Geraldine, in the question box. But the payment screen itself is pretty self-explanatory, nice and easy to use. I was using LINS in the test environment, so that's why I was getting some error messages there at the beginning. You certainly won't get hit with those, but I forgot I wasn't using my own back office, I was using hers. So that's just why there was a little bit of hiccup there showing that error message, and it's only because I was in the test environment why that came through. So you should not receive that on your end, I've gotten word. But I will certainly kick it to Geraldine and Trish to check the question box if there are some questions, and we definitely want to address them if time allows.
Hi, Dana. Yeah, great. Thank you. That was excellent presentation as always. And we do have questions. We actually have over 700 people listening in. So there's quite a few questions that have come in, which is brilliant. So let's try and work our way through it. One thing maybe just to note, a few people have noted little glitches as they work their way through the screens. So they might be getting an error message here or there. What I suggest you do is if you do encounter such a thing, take a screenshot and then email our customer service UK at InteleTravel.com email address. This way they're keeping track of anything, any little issues that are arising and feeding that back to our IT team on a daily basis. So again, if you do come across anything, the email address is customer service UK at InteleTravel.com, and I'll also give them the heads up to expect some of these to be coming through. So Dana, let's start with questions. The very first one, which you mentioned under the type of booking, is that usually, I guess, depending on what vertical an agent will select. So if they go into type of booking and they select either accommodation, it could be tour packages, it could be activities, it brings up the list. Now, that list of booking supplier, does that capture all of our preferred partners that would match to that particular vertical, so that particular type of booking?
Yes, you will find all of our preferreds are in this list. Of course, it takes a long time to scroll, so you can certainly start typing something here, and have it show up. If you
and that also
scroll.
includes US, correct, Dana? Sorry to interrupt you, but is that, when we look at that list, is that both UK and US partners, or is it just UK?
It's going to be both, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like
Let me just verify,
sorry.
because I have a lot in here. I think it's just one generic list that
Okay.
IT put for everybody. Now, as we get further along in here, you will see it trimmed down to show just the UK ones versus the US and UK. But for this phase 1, you will see a very full list here, if you will. So please do not think, UK agents, that you have access now to these suppliers. Certainly, it's still just the UK ones that you are able to book. And again, we will refine the list as we get further in the weeds with this in phase 2 and 3. But please note, just because it's on the list does not mean it's available to book, because they're both US and UK. Does that make sense,
Okay.
Geraldine?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I wanted just to highlight that. And will a list actually appear for every type of booking? I don't believe it does on all of the different types of bookings. Is that correct? So if we were to say go
Right.
to,
So it'll pop for activities.
yeah,
It will pop for air.
yeah,
It will pop for car rental.
yeah,
It will pop for cruise. The
yeah.
one thing I noticed it did not pop for was
I think it's hotels.
this one. Was
Yeah,
the hotel rental and the villa one. It
yeah,
just wants the name. This is the only one right now I thought that was not popping,
yeah.
because everything else gives you the list.
Okay.
So this hotel rental is just type in what the name of it is and then do your confirmation.
Okay, so for a lot of people, that will be rate hawk, because I know that's something that has actually been discussed. So you would have to type in rate hawk under this particular scenario. So type of booking hotels, and that should be rate hawk there.
Yeah,
Perfect.
no
Thank you
problem.
for that. Dana, still staying on this particular page, there's a couple of things. So if we take a look at groups, it says, is this a group booking? Yes or no? What would you say? So people are asking, well, what does that mean? So if it's more than 2 people, is it considered a group? So what would be your explanation on that one?
Well, group travel is kind of the next phase of what we're going to go into with a lot of our bookings. I know Trisha's got some great group, and we've got some great group um, as far as education down the pike. But group is really, if you like, let's say you're booking a cruise and you have 8 cabins or more, or if you're booking a hotel and you have 8 rooms booked, whatever. And sometimes I hesitate there, Geraldine, because sometimes it changes from vendor to vendor. Some consider a group to be 8 rooms. Some consider a group to be 10 rooms. So it's just the terms and conditions of whatever that supplier is. But if you happen to be booking a group where, no, it's not just going to be 2 rooms. That's not a group. This is when you've got your church group going, or a big group, a huge family reunion, and you're booking, 50 folks from the family reunion are all going to converge and take a holiday together. It's that size that we're talking about. So more education is coming around groups, but it's not for 3 rooms, 4 rooms. That's still not considered a group. You're really talking if you're at the 10 or more, 8 or more category, that might be considered a group. Hope that
Perfect.
answers your question.
Thank you, Dana. And still, I think it might be on the screen. Actually, I think it's the next one where it asks for an agent to upload confirmation documents. I think it's just really important just to note that at this point in time, since you're just registering the booking, you're not actually going to have the official confirmation documents, which come from UK partners. At InteleTravel.com, and that's mainly for our preferred partners. So what you need to do in the interim is just upload a holding document. So it could be a screenshot if you did it online on the agent portal, or if you did it via the phone with an actual partner, then all you would need to do is create, say, a Word document just with some information and upload that. But you will need to upload a document, so you'll have to create something in the interim until you receive the official documentation. Yeah?
Right, because it has an asterisk here, it's not going to let you proceed without uploading something, to
Yeah,
Geraldine's point. It won't let you keep going. It'll have an error message up at the top saying you have to attach your documents. So
perfect.
yes,
Thank
I
you.
try to hit it.
We've had a couple of questions with regards, and I think you did touch on it at the very beginning, Dana, with regards to bookings that have already been made, say under the old system. are agents able to convert those into trips? How's that going to work? Old bookings to this new system now.
Yep, give us a little bit of time on that because, again, we don't have that amend the booking option available at this time. So you wouldn't be able to go back to your older bookings and add those other numbers just yet. But once we get all that sorted, then yes, you will be able to do that, which is a great, great little feature because we know sometimes it can be just so confusing with all those numbers. You register with the confirmation and then they end up paying with the reference number. And then, we're chasing the booking trying to find it and match it to you. So I agree that's going to be a wonderful tool once they get that sorted. So just stay tuned and we'll keep you posted there.
Great. We had an agent ask about the supplier address. Do they still need to insert that, input it during this process, Dana?
No, as you saw, we did change some things, and it's really just the client's information that you have to upload, or excuse me, input, not so much the supplier's information. Really, all they want for the supplier was well, you put the name of the supplier, the check-in, the check-out, and that total cost, and then the documents. So the address and all of that is not required anymore.
Great, thank you for that. This is actually a really good one as well, from Michael. He says, can we add a different supplier to the back office if clients book a package, say Classic, and then they add theme parks, say from Attraction World? So can they add them all together? That way, when they goes to the payment, when they send out the payment link? But I don't think that works, does it, Dana? Because the payment is taken separately for different partners. So they would still have to register them individually, correct?
Correct. So if you have an existing trip and you add, I want to see if this will work. I know I'm in Lynn's, but okay. So let me try and pick the one I just did.
Yeah.
And then we will see what I'm talking about, if it will let me. Because even though you're adding it to the trip, so the computer sees that it's related to your other trip, you still need a separate payment link. You'll get a link for that booking. But it's thinking about it. It doesn't like what I did here. Okay. So this one, oh, that's not the one I wanted. Sorry. Dana's trip to Paris. What happened there? So this one, oh, it's holding, okay, well, let me just go through this and ask me another question while I'm whipping through this. Let me just see what
okay. Sorry, I'm just answering.
Because I'm interested to see if it's the same, you know what I'm saying, if it's the same payment link and it's just going to add it to this booking.
Yeah. I have to admit, I'm curious as well because I haven't actually tested that. So I think it's an excellent question.
Yeah.
Here is one as well, and this one's pretty good with regards to back to the group. So a group booking reference number, where would an agent find this? So again, I guess it depends on the partners. And if we take a look at cruises, a lot of times they will provide you with an overall group booking reference number. So you would enter that as the group booking reference number, but then the individual cabins will have their own reference number. So then you would be going in and entering those in addition. So that's the beauty of having the ability to enter in multiple reference numbers. I think that's correct in what I said, Dana? Or are you multitasking?
Yeah, no, that is correct, and I am because these dots are still showing, and like I said, it's a bad storm here with thunder and lightning, so I think it's affecting my, my speed here. I apologize.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Emma, for
Certainly,
all
yes.
your coming in.
I know.
What else we have? Um, Sorry, I'm just going through as well. There's loads of different questions.
Okay, let me see what I did. Oops.
Uh, so the credit card authorization form, that should still be available, Morgan, under your dashboard. So nothing has changed there. I believe it sits under your quick link section on your dashboard, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, I want to circle back. I'm sorry, Geraldine. So it did take it. It didn't show that it took it, but it did take it because I went on to this commission's report and went scrolled down. So even though it gave that error message on the screen, it is showing here. But because we're not MOR for RateHawk, there is no ability to get a payment link.
Okay.
So that answered that one. But what I wanted to try and do is see if it would let me add to this booking, like if we did air or something, what that would do. So I'm getting there slowly. Okay, what's the next question?
Yeah, sorry, I was just answering one. Actually, maybe Dana, just in terms of balance payments, um, what the process is. So if it's 2 weeks before that deadline where that money needs to be in the partner's bank account. So again, just to make a note, when it comes to the full balance payment, you always need to collect it 2 weeks prior to the date that is shown on the confirmation documentation. The reason why is the date on the confirmation document is when that money needs to hit the supplier's account. And it generally takes us 2 weeks to transfer that because a lot of our suppliers use a system called Travel Ledger, which is Apta's banking system, and it does take 2 weeks for this payment to be processed. So Dana, if it is time for taking the balance payment, how do they go about doing that?
Well, if you're taking the balance payment, same thing. You can just go right here and get the link. It's the same link if you have one payment or multiple payments.
Yeah.
So don't think you have to go through the process again and get a new payment link. It's always going to be the same payment link, whether it's deposit or whether, and you have a balance due like months and months and months, maybe a year later, because sometimes folks really book well in advance. Come right back to, that's why it's so important to put the total amount of the booking, not just the money you're taking on that particular day. So if the holiday was really $2,500 and I only put $200 because that was the deposit, you'll end up having to contact customer service and have them change the amount so that you can utilize the same payment link for your customer to make multiple payments. So you always put, when you register your booking, you always put the total full amount of what that holiday is all about, not just the amount you're taking that day, because you use the same link. Hopefully that made sense, Geraldine.
Yeah, it did. Thank you so much for that. We have a question. How do I cancel an outside booking once it has been entered?
Mm-hmm. Very good question. Now, we used to, back in the day, we gave agents the ability to be able to remove bookings from their commission report. And, you know, we called it cancel booking. But so many ITAs got confused. They thought if they canceled it off their report, it also canceled with the supplier. And that's not the case. You always have to cancel a booking with the supplier. Okay. So we did take that ability away from an agent to be able to remove things off of their commission report. you contact customer service to get things removed from your commission report. But when it comes to canceling, there are certain steps that you must follow. And step number one is always to go to that supplier and, cancel the booking directly with them. Based off whatever terms and conditions that were applied at booking, you may have a penalty, you might be fully refundable. But once that cancellation is complete with the supplier, they'll send notice of a cancellation. They might send you the notice, yay, great. They might send the notice to our partner bookings folder. Either way, when you contact customer service for that cancellation, they will need that documentation as well. So certainly, please, please, don't just think calling customer service to cancel a booking means you're actually canceling it. All you're doing is just removing it off of the commission report system, our back office, but you always cancel with that supplier direct. Hopefully that made sense, Geraldine.
It does. Thank you very much. Someone has asked, could you please re-explain how to make sure the booking process is correct when we are the merchant of record and don't pay the supplier directly? Do you want to take that one, Dana, or do you want me to?
I'm not sure what that question's asking me, Geraldine. I'm sorry. Can you repeat it again? Say it one more time. The merchant of record process.
Yeah, so could you please re-explain how to make sure the booking process is correct when we are the merchant of record and don't pay the supplier directly? So what you need to do when we are the merchant of record, you need to obviously confirm the booking, register it in the back office. You need to then take the deposit payment. Now, just to let you know, we're actually in the process of updating the manual. And the manual is going to be suggesting a slightly different way of processing bookings, which Dana did make reference to, and that is where, and this is really just to safeguard yourself. So when you're going through the quote process, that is when you would look to take a deposit payment where we are merchant of record from the client. And the reason why we suggest you do this, and it is actually industry standard, which means other agencies do operate this way. But the reason why we do is that if your client decides not to continue with the actual payment or the holiday, you'll know before you confirm it because you're asking them actually to take that payment. And it should be a very seamless process. So you can have them on the phone. So it is, okay, this is the quote. Are you happy with that? Yes, okay. You go in, you enter it. You can put either the quote reference number, because some partners will provide that, or you can actually put a fictitious reference number. Then you would proceed through these screens, send the actual payment link to your client. And of course, if they pay, again, hopefully it's seamless. You would then go back to the partner and confirm it. So that's how you take payment. Then when it comes down to the full balance, you need to collect that full balance at least 2 weeks prior to the date that is shown on the confirmation documentation. And the way that you currently do that is by going into your commissions report and selecting make payment. So I'm hoping that does explain it. With regards to
you were talking about the dummy booking process. Okay, so yeah, so just to give you a little bit of visual of what Geraldine just said, let's just say the one you just saw me do, right, was not the real booking. Let's just say this do something different that I created is this booking ID is the dummy one because I just wanted to get the payment link to send to my customer to make a payment for it. You know, maybe it's not 200 pounds, maybe it's 2,000 pounds. And you want to make sure you get that full, payment first. So just the same way I made the booking and I just made up a number because it was a fictitious number, or that quote reference number that Geraldine was talking about, that's what you would put in the booking reference. You would go through the entire process like we just did. You would then get your payment link that you can copy paste to your customer. And once that payment comes in, then you're able to go to do something different and actually make the real booking. So the real booking, let's just say the confirmation number is 12345. Well, now you've got this in here, but you really need to make it 12345. Currently, this process is not set up for the agents to be able to do themselves. This is when you would need to pick up the phone or chat with a customer service rep to be able to say, hey, this is the real booking. I registered it under 158967459. However, the booking reference is really 12345. Can you update my booking? Now, in the future, once we get this little bug thing fixed, you'll be able to do this on your own. But for right now, when you get the real booking, you contact customer service and they'll update it for you. So I just wanted to put a visual to what Geraldine just said, because there's so many folks that are visual learners and you understand it a little bit better of where you find and what to do. But hopefully that made sense as to what we were saying. And it's very important with what Geraldine was talking about, those guidelines, as far as giving yourself enough cushion, a 2-week window before that final payment, because so many times your clients, maybe they want to use a different card for the balance. Maybe they're not home because you have to get their permission before you just charge their card for the balance. You can't just charge it without conversing with them first. And sometimes there's a little bit of back and forth or chasing, or where's my client? They might be out of town. So you certainly want to give yourself that window. And that's why the 2 weeks becomes really, really important. So you don't back yourself up in a corner and have us chasing you where's the money? Where's the money?
Perfect, thank you. Dana, someone asked about creating itineraries to send to the customer. I think that is probably more so on our booking engines when an agent goes in to book. Is that it? I believe the ability is there. Am I correct?
Oh, you mean on our booking engine, once you make a booking and pay, yes, you should get confirmation sent to you. You can then forward that to your customer. Whatever email you put in is who's going to receive the confirmation. So it depends on what you like. Some ITAs like to put the client's email in there and all of the information will be sent to them. Some like to put their email in so everything comes to them and then they forward it to the customer. So it's just a matter of which email gets put in there. Now, if they're looking for additional confirmations, let's say, a confirmation was sent out and, oh, they can't find it, or, for whatever reason it didn't get sent, you can certainly contact Travel Desk. So that's traveldesk@InteleTravel.com. Travel Desk is the department that handles all bookings that are done on the booking platform, our booking engine, and they'll be able to get you either an additional confirmation or something like that, assist you with your bookings if you need to make a modification, change, cancel. It's always the Travel Desk that you want to reach out to for that assistance.
Perfect, thank you, Dana. Sorry, just typing away as well. So with loads of questions. Okay.
Geraldine, while you're looking, can I dovetail with you?
Yeah, you.
I don't want to interrupt you, but Dana, just for further clarification, especially right now where we're having a few difficulties, what if that payment fails? What is your prime instruction to the agent? Because you know what happens. Sometimes payment has failed and you refresh and then you'll find a card can be charged twice. But what would your advice be if the payment confirmation or the payment link fails?
Well, if you get a failure and it doesn't really give you a reason, because some failures give you a reason. The credit card is invalid, like that maybe you transposed a number and it's no good. It would say error, invalid card number. Or perhaps it's an error due to insufficient funds or something like that. It would say that on there. But if it's just a generic error message, and it might even say error 3DS, if it does say any of that, please don't hit your back button and try it again, because Trish is correct. It might pull an authorization from the card again, because the authorization from the card and the actual putting through of that payment are two separate steps. So the first step is happening no problem. You know, you get the authorization, you've got the money, but because that 3DS isn't working properly, it's not able to apply that authorization and confirm the booking. So all you're going to do, unfortunately, if you hit your back button and do it again, is just keep getting authorizations off of your client's credit card for that amount. And yes, Trish is correct. It could pull 5, 6 times before you stop and say, "Oh, let me contact." And then your customer's looking at their, "Wait, why do I have all these pending charges on my card?" So you'll want to, if you've got that error, you can do a screenshot. You can send it to Beta Engine. And as soon as we get updates on that 3DS, of course, we will notify everybody on Facebook and everything. But in the meantime, you're welcome to do that. But thank you, Tricia. That's a very good point. You don't necessarily want to, just hit your back button. If it doesn't give you, because if it does give you, invalid card number or something like that, and you know that you've typed it wrong by accident, then you can certainly hit your back button, fix it, and do it again. But if it's just a regular old generic error message with no explanation, or if it's error message 3DS, please don't hit the back button and try, because it's just going to continue to pull authorization. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Don't forget, everyone, this is being recorded, and I actually will listen in again and watch it again as well. But also, just sorry, well, I've got your ear, Dana, while Geraldine's sort of recapping. An agent is saying that customer service has stated that you can no longer make false bookings or dummy bookings, but you're actually making a test, I'm going to call it a test booking. Can you clarify?
That's incorrect for customer service to say that. We're absolutely continuing with the dummy bookings or fictitious bookings, if you will. I don't know what the official name we call it there, Trish. But that's really the main way you have in order to make sure your customer doesn't leave you in a lurch, So we don't want to get rid of that. Now, we have hired a several batch of newbies, so I apologize for that incorrect information. We'll go back to customer services and make sure everybody's on the same page. But yes, you have that ability to still do that, because you want to secure the monies prior to booking that holiday with the supplier.
And that links into an agent who's saying, but the trouble is the supplier will ask for payment at time of booking. Well, of course, if you've already collected the payment through the link and a fictitious booking, it means that you've actually got that payment there up front, and then you can go and make the booking, which is really what your instruction had mentioned, had it not? Yes?
Right, that is correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Geraldine, I wasn't hijacking you. It's just that while you were looking, I was filling your time.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you, Tricia. A couple of things that have come in. So, Dana, and we have actually reported this back to the IT team. A number of agents have noticed it's really on that last screen before you make or they take payment. It says up United States as the default in terms of the area. So we have actually log that with the IT team, just so you're aware, so that does get changed to the UK. Now, Dana, a number of people have asked about inputting their commission amounts. Is that something that they still need to do?
On this first phase, it does not ask for the commission amount. It's only asking you for the holiday amount. As they get more into it, we will introduce some additional screens to be able to provide more information, but no, that is not captured right now.
Perfect. Thank you, Dana. Sorry, let me just type this in. Don't know, Tricia, if you can see anything else. I mean, there's loads. I think we'll probably have to.
I'm typing away as well, but whilst I'm typing, I'm going to just mention, because it is quite common, Emma's question, because Emma said, what's the correct thing to do if you make a dummy booking, deposit is taken, and then by the time you go back, the price has changed. And to be honest, contrary to belief, and I really do believe it's contrary to belief, and it is quite rare for this to happen, because it usually happens when you make let's say you've done a test booking, but then you go away and you make a cup of coffee, or you make a cup of tea, or you pop away from your screen. That's minutes. And minutes and minutes and minutes means that possibly a fare level can trigger from one fare to the next, because you've got thousands of people around the world accessing a system, not just InteleTravel. But if it's all instantaneous and it is one transaction, you very rarely find within that 2 to 3 minute window that it's gone. And if it does, I say it is quite rare. And I always say that, you've got to keep communicating with your customer. This isn't rocket science. The industry have been working like this for years. This isn't an InteleTravel thing. A customer comes to you, you're going to make the booking, say, right, I'm going to try and secure that booking for you. I'm just going to send you a payment link, but make them aware that, prices change within minutes, because they will know that when they go in and try and book an EasyJet flight, then they'll go back half an hour later or 10 minutes later and find that the price is no longer available. But it is quite rare if it's minutes. It really is. So sorry, I thought I'd ask that publicly while you were looking at some more questions.
Yeah, no,
and if you do have a customer, just to piggyback on that before we go to the next question, if you do have a customer, let's say, it is one of those times when the price increases, you let your customer know, give them the option. They can either send the remainder with another payment through the payment link, or because we're merchant of record, we have the money, you haven't made the actual booking yet with the supplier, you've got that little leeway where if they want to say, oh, forget it, then we can just, cancel it out and the money can go back to the customer.
Thank you, Dana.
To mention.
Yeah. And thank you, Tricia. Sorry, I'm still going through.
Yeah, that's okay.
There is quite a bit here. So I guess it is important to note that, as we mentioned, we are actually redoing the training manual, and it is going to take into account all the new functionality. And then, of course, we'll go into detail in terms of what we just spoke about, creating fictitious quote bookings in the back office and ensuring you take that payment before you actually confirm. So we hope to have that out probably towards the end of this month, if not the very latest, the beginning of July. Tricia, I'm just conscious of the time, and Dana, there's still quite a bit coming in, a lot of really good stuff. I'm just wondering if we should probably do, and actually some really good suggestions as well in terms of for functionality in the back office. So should we maybe look at taking everything, because we have all the questions, and going through them tomorrow and then uploading them, because they are important, onto the Facebook page, the answers? I think that probably is the best option at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are lots of comments coming. And just so that you're aware, everybody, one thing that for today, it was important for us in the UK is that we have now on board a brand new project manager. And that project manager means that is almost a listening board for you as the audience to make sure that when systems are implemented, that you as the agent and the audience have been taken into account fully before it's done. Now, I'm not saying, in a perfect world that would happen, but actually this project manager is that in between the tech and you. And I think that is going to be so, so useful. We just met him today for the first time, and already I've got some ideas of how I would like to introduce him to the UK. So do watch this space. And yeah, I agree, Geraldine. We'll be here typing all night, but these are important and we do have to address them because it affects everyday life. So let's take a review first thing in the morning and nag me as well, and we'll get these up and running.
Yeah, no, there's some really good things. But I guess maybe just to re-clarify, in the interim, when you do need to make any change to a booking, so the travel date, if you need to change the cost and even the reference numbers, you still actually, at this point in time, you will need to contact our customer services team. And once the ability for you to go in and actually service the whole process yourself is available, we'll definitely let you know.
And also we've got DreamMaker for anybody, don't forget, because a lot of these people I can see are new. So we've got DreamMaker on the 7th of July in Birmingham, which is a whole day of induction and education. And then we'll be having another one in the London region. So keep your eyes peeled. It's not too late to sign up for the 7th of July. Yeah, so I think watch this space. We'll go on talking all night, won't we? But we've got to get these questions downloaded and answered so we can get them on the Facebook tomorrow.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It's great to see so many people join. And someone has asked what Facebook group. So if you're not on our official InteleTravel Facebook group, please ensure that you go and register, because most of the important information and announcements and lots of promotions and offers from our partners, we do upload them there. So you do want to be part of that, otherwise you're missing out. So I guess on that note, ladies, thanks for tonight, and agents, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow evening.
Thank you very much. Bye, Dana. Bye, Geraldine. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Thank you so much.